Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. I'm Justika Devi Alafia, and in this video, we will talk about fracture story. Before we start our material today, let me introduce to you the learning outcomes and the learning objectives of these materials. The learning outcomes of this material, which is fracture story, is students write various types of fiction and non-fiction texts through guided activities, demonstrating their understanding of the purpose and the target audience or viewers. They plan, write, review, and revise texts, employing self-correction strategies in writing conventions. Students express ideas using common vocabulary and verbs in their writing. They present information using various presentation modes in print and digital formats to suit the target of the audience and the viewers and to achieve different purposes. And for the learning objective, there are two learning objectives here. First, the students are able to write fracture story by demonstrating self-correction strategies, including convey ideas using common vocabulary and action verbs in their writing. And the second is the students are able to present narrative fracture story text information using various presentation modes to adapt to readers or viewers and to achieve different purposes in both print and digital forms. So let's talk about fracture story. What's fracture story? Fracture story is a retelling of a well-known fairy tale or story with changes in characters, setting, plot, and point of view to create a new and different version of a story. And the purpose of a fracture story, there are three purposes. The first is to entertain the readers. The second is to present a creative and surprising version of a familiar story. And the third is to encourage imagination and critical thinking. If you want to make a fracture story, you should follow the general structure of fracture story. The fracture story has same structure as a narrative text. The first is orientation, which introduces characters, setting, and situation. The second is complication. So it presents a problem or conflicts. And the third is resolution. So it shows how the problem is solved. You should also follow language features of fracture story. First, you can use past tense. And the second, you can use time connective, such as once upon a time, then, suddenly, and finally. And the third is dialogue. You can you can add a dialogue in your text. And the fourth is descriptive words. So you describe maybe the places, maybe the characters, maybe the person in the story. So let's practice together. This is the fracture story text, and you can analyze and identify the general structure of the text. I will give you 2 minutes. Okay, time's up. Now, let's identify the general structure of this story. From this story, we can know that the first paragraph is, yes, good, orientation. So, Tino was a young dinosaur who was different from the others. So, here the writer wants to introduce the character in the story. And then for the complication is, yes, good. Second paragraph. One day the great roaring contest was held and all young dinosaurs had to join. So here the writer wants to introduce you about the conflict, about the problem in the story. And the last is resolution. All the dinosaurs froze in surprise. Then they smiled and changed from the moment the valley no longer held roaring contests. They made uh, take festival instead. So talent festival instead. So this is the resolution of the story, which the writer wants to show how the character there overcome the problem and made harmony in the story. Good job. So now it's time for group assessment. Please make like 5 or 6 group contained by 4 or 5 person, 5 people. So your job, your work, your task is to make a fractured story by your own together with your group. So you should pick one original story that's still original, and then you can decide to add a twist, to add some twist idea in the story. You can use this template. After deciding the story and the twist and the fracture, you can write on your story here. Okay, finally we are in the end of the video. So what did you learn today? What was difficult about our material today? Do you have any unclear question about the materials? And what will you do to enhance your understanding? Okay, thank you very much for your attention and see ya.